All right, I think we're ready to roll.
You're listening to Words Like That with Cole Powell, a storytelling podcast.
All right, folks, it's another episode of the podcast, and I am stoked today because we have, for the first time in, 2 years? Year and a half, 2 years, back in studio?
Yeah, I'm going to say a year and a half.
A year and a half, okay.
Can't be-
2 years since you were in studio for the podcast, let's say that.
Okay, yeah.
And 1 year since your last appearance on the podcast, which was remote. So Kyle Graves is here. If you don't know who Kyle Graves is, this guy was an award-winning singer-songwriter by age 21. He is now up for another couple of awards. He started his own media company. He has a degree in liberal studies with a marketing minor. He's got a master's of science in public relations. He just spent a couple of years working in media marketing. This guy is incredible. And to kick this thing off, I want to talk about, well, I tell you what, let's do this. I'm going to tell you the stuff I want to talk about, and you tell me which one you want to talk about first. I want to talk about all the stuff that I just named. Okay. Your career. You also got a new song out with your current band, which is great. Wait, I actually got this set up. We can play a little bit of the video while we're here. Okay. That'd be pretty cool. And you're up for, with that band, you got a Song of the Year nomination at the Josie Music Awards. A whole bunch of exciting stuff going on for you. I also want to talk about my song, Outlive My Life, that you shot the video for, that is also up for a couple of awards. I also want to get your reaction to Roy Clark performing Folsom Prison Blues.
Okay.
And I also want to talk about the live action How to Train Your Dragon.
We need to.
You and I have both seen it. That's all that we know about each other's experience.
Yeah.
I don't know where you stand on it, where I stand on it, so that'll be fun. So, what you want to tackle first?
Well, we kind of covered a lot just in about...
That was just a setup.
I know, right? But that's...
It's a big setup. You got a lot going on. What do you want me to say?
Honestly, I kind of forgot about a lot of stuff that you just talked about.
Great. All right. Some marketer you are.
Right. Yeah, but but I've been trained by the Gen Z generation to
right.
Next.
Right. The TikTok generation.
Yeah.
Yep. Speaking of which, that's another thing. You got like 56,000 followers on TikTok.
Yeah, but you know what?
I know.
I haven't posted on that thing in I don't know.
I know. People would kill.
I know.
For that follower base. And you're like...
But it's a dead follower base. I tried it. I tried posting there again, and it'd be like 3 likes and be like, you suck. And it's like,
oh wow. Great. Okay.
Awesome.
Well, they're right. Well, regardless, if you ever decide to try to get back to it, somebody wants to go check him out on TikTok, go follow him.
Yeah, you can look at my videos from about 3 years ago.
There you go. Mm-hmm. Perfect.
All right. What were my options again? Because
your career.
Okay.
My song that also includes part of your career in it. Roy Clark, Folsom Prison Blues, and How to Train Your Dragon.
Let's start off with How to Train Your Dragon.
Okay, let's go. That's great.
That's the most recent thing.
Okay, so let's do. So this is the live action remake of 2010 animated DreamWorks film that I thought was great. I thought the animated version was fantastic. Loved it. My kids are obsessed with it. They watch it all the time.
Yeah.
I took them to see it. And what's your opinion before we go any further?
Okay. I haven't seen the animated movie in probably since it came out.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So it's not...
And you were like 3, something like that? No, I'm just...
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Okay, no, I'm just kidding. For real though, you're like 10.
I was about to say,
it wasn't much.
I can't really...
much of an
that's why I wasn't trying to put up much of a fight. It's like, well...
Right.
Yeah, I mean, my wife, she's the oldest of 7, and she was 13 when the youngest was born. So naturally, she's seen this movie probably as many days as I've been alive.
Right.
And so she had a much better grasp of the story going into it. So whenever I went into it, I told myself, okay, I know what this story's about. I know halfway what to expect. So I'm just going to go into this completely neutral. And I was pretty blown away.
It was the most fun I have had
Yeah.
in theaters in since Spider-Man 2
Yeah.
in 2004.
It was, yeah, that's exactly how we felt too.
I think if it's not the best live action remake of an animated movie,
Oh yeah.
it's top 3.
Okay, this is DreamWorks, right?
Yeah, and this is, as far as I know, this is the first. Somebody can correct me in the comments if I'm wrong here, but I believe this is the first DreamWorks attempt at doing a live action remake of one of their animated films.
Well, they have big shoes to fill for the
100%.
next one because, like, seriously, I tried going into it kind of like our conversation with which one of the Spider-Men was it? Was it Spider-Man Homecoming?
Homecoming, yeah, that you didn't care for it. I was like, oh man, this is a lot better than I was expecting. Yeah.
So I tried.
'Cause we were in that screening together. Yeah.
I tried your approach, and I think even if I would have gone in jaded, I would have been pleasantly surprised, because as far as Autumn was telling me, hey, as far as I could tell, they pretty much just hit copy and paste of the script, which is great because so many of these live action remakes, they try to sort of rewrite the story to be a little bit more modernized. And it's like, no, if you write a good story, it is timeless. No, I'm not saying, Gone with the Wind would have the same exact cultural relevance as today, but something that was made 10 years ago, 15 years ago, it's still relevant enough. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. And the acting was as good as I wanted it to be, but honestly, the CGI was like the animation, whatever it was just unbelievable to me, because I don't know how they made Toothless look like the animated Toothless, but also like a real dragon all at the same time. So I don't know. It was pretty loaded for me. Like when I went and saw it, I just left and I was like, I would walk in, I would turn around and go watch it again right now.
I felt the exact same way, and I don't think it was just because I was sitting with the kids who were all over this thing. I think if I had gone by myself, I still think I would have had a blast. Maybe not quite as much because they weren't, but still, I'd have had a blast.
Yeah.
And what you said about the whole remake thing, when they announced this movie, my first reaction was, "You've got to be kidding me!"
Right? Yeah, because we've been burnt so many times.
Absolutely, and it's only a 15-year-old movie.
Right.
It's like, what are you doing? You're remaking this great animated film from 15 years ago in live action after we've had just a slew of junk out of Disney on the live action remakes.
We've been trained to, that's what's crazy, is we're trained now to expect crap.
Right. Yeah.
Like we're trained now to be like, okay, yeah, that was cool that it happened, and I think there's always something to be said about the original will always be the best because it was the original.
Right. The greatest.
The greatest.
The greatest. Yeah. Because there's a distinction between best and greatest.
Yeah. But, we've been trained to be like, oh, this is about to be the best movie ever. And you go see it and it's like, so the only good scenes were in the preview. Okay, got it. Right. But that was not the case with this at all.
100%. And what finally got, I watched the trailer for it, and I was expecting to hate it. And when the trailer came out and it looked like it was going to be a shot-for-shot remake, I was like, okay, I may go check this out. Then I read that the director that co-wrote and directed the original also co-wrote and directed this one.
See, I didn't realize that.
And he hates live-action remakes because they change things. Yeah. So he was like, we're not going to do that with this movie. We're going to just basically shoot it shot for shot.
I'm looking straight at the camera here because this is going to reach millions and millions. Whoever.
Hundreds and hundreds.
Hundreds and hundreds. And yeah. That's what I tell myself all the time, and I'm like, about 300 of them is my mom rewatching this
exactly,
whenever I post a video.
Exactly.
All you big companies out there that want to reinvent the wheel, you need to take notes from How to Train Your Dragon. Take notes from DreamWorks. Take notes from that mentality that Cole just said, because that's the reason everybody's obsessed with the new thing.
100%.
Just saying.
100%. It was great. I will say this. It's funny you mentioned the CG. My only beef with the movie was the CG.
Really? What?
And I'll tell you. Oh, no,
Okay.
I'll tell you what. All right, just hang tight. Just hang tight there. All right. So, first of all, I feel like we've reached peak CG in like 2019.
Okay.
And it's all kind of been looking more and more fake as it's gone on for some crazy reason. Like you would think it would be the opposite, that we'd be getting into the part where you couldn't tell at all the difference between CG and real life. And we are with kind of the AI stuff, but when it comes to actually, you know, the CG in the movies, the old-fashioned computer, okay. There were times where you could tell that the background was a CG environment.
Yeah.
And it made the actors, the real-life actors, look almost kind of video gamey, Uncanny Valley type.
Okay. Yeah. I can. Yeah.
As far as the dragon rendering, I like the fact, because I like the original anime movie so much, I like the fact that they just basically took that and made them more textured to look real.
Right, exactly.
At the same time, they still look like more of the cartoon style dragons. And I just rewatched, I think you watched this movie years ago with me, Dragonheart, with Dennis Quaid.
Wait.
You remember
Oh,
Sean
yeah.
Connery?
Yeah.
Okay. So they just turned 30
Wow.
this past, this is July, so May. It was 2 months ago it turned 30. And I rewatched it, and that was like the first CG dragon. There may have been something before that. This was mid-90s, Industrial Light and Magic, George Lucas's company that did all the visual effects. They made this dragon. And even though the CG is 30 years older, and you could tell, okay, it's not as sophisticated, the technology is as sophisticated as what they use in How to Train Your Dragon.
Right.
The choices they made on the look of the dragon made it more realistic, like what a dragon would actually look like if it were real. Whereas what they decided to do with How to Train Your Dragon is just take the cartoon rendering and make it a little bit more textured, to make it a little bit more. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's a minor criticism. It's a minor critique.
Sure.
And because the original is so good and so beloved, and this version is basically a shot by shot, it's not really that big of a deal.
Right. Yeah.
But that was really my only beef. I would probably give this objectively, like taking out my personal, at least an 8 out of 10, maybe a 9 out of 10.
I could agree with that.
My subjective opinion, my personal enjoyment rating, 10 out of 10.
Okay, I'm glad you said that.
12 out of 10.
Okay. I was about to say, like, are you about to give this amazing movie, like, oh, we talk about how great it is, it stinks.
No.
Good.
Personal enjoyment, 10 out of 10.
right,
And the
good.
quality of the movie, at least an 8, maybe a 9 out of 10, because it was done so well. And in terms of live action remakes, the only two that I think might be in contention for being as good as or better, like that top 3 that I mentioned earlier, the Cinderella remake was really good.
Yeah.
Like, even though they changed some of the story, it worked. It was fine. And the acting in that was great.
Yeah.
And the Jungle Book
I still
remake. Dude, you've got to watch the Jungle Book remake. They don't really change much from the cartoon, and what they do change is good.
Okay.
It works.
Okay.
Other than that, I feel like all the live action remakes, I've quit watching them. Like, I haven't watched like the last 2, 3, 4 that they've come out with because all the rest of them were so terrible.
Right.
But this is definitely, if not the best live action remake, top 3, hands down.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, so let's move on here. What you want to tackle next?
Let's talk about, how about, are you talking about me, like, quitting my job and...
If you want to go there, we can. I was just talking about your general what's going on in your life. Start the media company, your new song, your new video with your band, the awards.
Man, it's been a weird year and a half.
Yeah.
For like 5 or 6 years, I was a gigging musician, and that is just what I did. I was in school. Like, I did school, but, you know, I always hated the idea of going into an office every day. And I was like, I'll never do that. And then, you know what? Life hits. And then you got to do that because that's just the season of life I was in. And I was right. I hated it. I thought it was horrible. And it wasn't all horrible because I got to do things that I learned in school. I mean, I got to get some practical knowledge to accompany the theoretical knowledge, I guess. And I realized that I love videography. I've always liked photography, but I've never been good at it. I've always stunk at photography. You can ask Autumn.
I don't know about that. I saw some stuff that you did whenever you were younger. I mean, even when you were like in community college, you showed me some stuff you took. I was like, that's pretty good.
Yeah, but that was like out of like 100,000 pictures.
I get you.
But essentially, that job gave me an opportunity to hone a craft that I didn't know that I had, you know? And I remember thinking, man, I kind of want to get back into that world of not sitting at this desk. But how do I do that? How do I just... That's a completely illogical... There's nothing that makes sense about that idea. But I tried applying to a bunch of other 9-to-5 jobs. Didn't work out. And then about the 150th application that I got rejected, I mean, I can't tell you how many times it was like, Mr. Graves, you're a phenomenal candidate, but you suck. We're not using you.
Perfect.
Autumn and I just looked at each other, my wife Autumn, and we were like, you know what? Maybe you should pray about this whole videography thing, see if it feels right, because this ain't feeling right. And no joke, within 48 hours, I had 2 different people reach out to me saying, hey, I have some consistent work that I want to give you. Could we meet up and talk about it? And
wow.
And then a third one came along like 2 weeks later. So I told Autumn, I was like, this is it. I think this is the path that I've been looking for. And it's been close to a month, and man, I feel like my old self again. For a year and a half, I kind of just felt like this is not what I'm meant to do. And I think it's so easy for people die often at 22 years old, but live the rest of their life. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Wow, man.
I don't know.
That's pretty profound.
I stole that from someone.
Okay. Okay. Well, all right.
Can't take credit. I think that's like a John Denver thing or something like that.
Okay.
Or something like that. People die of old age, but the real death happened when they were like 24, whenever they decided to quit living or something like that. And from day one, I have felt like a noticeable shift in how I feel, in my outlook toward life, my outlook toward music. I mean, music was like a necessary evil just to keep me going, you know?
Which is a shame. That is a shame.
Yeah.
Because it was something that you love. You know, I've been knowing you since, you know, I always joke, I knew you before you knew
since
yourself.
I watched How to Train Your Dragon.
Right, yeah, exactly. But, I've always loved music. You've been a music guy. Like, I remember one of the first interactions I had, well, you probably don't remember this because your memory is garbage.
Yeah.
But I remember we were at church, and I was filling in, doing the youth choir for Brittany because she couldn't be there that night. And I sat down at the piano and was playing, and you took out your cell phone, were like trying to record. But you're just like, you were obsessed with music, like anything to do with music, you were just like there. And for it to have become that for you, what you just described, that's a shame. That's a shame. But it makes total sense. I totally get it.
I never, because I remember you had told me you'd gone through a pretty similar time in your life, and I was like, I'll never do that. And then I did, and I was
probably even worse than me. You probably even got worse than I did, honestly.
Probably so. Ironically, I did write a few songs throughout that time that was like, wow. I think I had sent you some of them, and you were like, you need help. I was like, I know.
I think I said this is really good. Also, it's pretty clear you hate your life right now.
Yeah.
That's what I said. Yeah.
And I don't regret anything, though. I don't regret taking that job.
So you said also the advice you gave was if somebody has the opportunity to step out there and do that, to, you know, just to go for it, basically.
Yeah, my unsolicited advice is if you got an opportunity, you've got to take it, because we live in a DIY world now. You know, I was actually talking about this with a musician yesterday. He was in this amazing studio, and I was taking pictures of him and videos of him. And it's like an absolute luxury. Like, it was a luxury before to be in a studio, but now it's even more of a luxury because there are so many DIY engineers now. I mean, you and I have done. I mean, you've done it way more than me, but
you're overall, I think, better than me.
No,
Okay.
I don't think so.
Okay.
But you know, everything's a competition now. So how are you going to stand out? And this is just advice for people that don't want to be in that 9 to 5 thing, because there's nothing wrong with that, dude. There's nothing wrong with that. People make hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars working from 9 to 5.
But if it's not where you're meant to be,
it doesn't matter.
Money ain't everything.
You're right. It doesn't matter.
That's right.
So, yeah, man.
And I'll add something to that. Sometimes, even if you don't necessarily, you're not set, like you were in a really good position to make this step.
Absolutely.
Sometimes, even if you're not, you need to take the risk. You got to take the risk. I basically did the same thing you did. What year is this? 2025. So 14 years ago.
Yeah.
When I was working, I used to work at the tax office. I don't know if I've said this on a video, but I used to work at our tax assessor collector's office, and that's like a hybrid of the DMV / land tax collection office in Mississippi.
Right.
And for those of y'all who don't know, and fine job, could have made a good career out of it, other than the fact that I was having some health issues that were being exacerbated by some of the stuff. But I took the risk to start my own record label, do my own music career. And I had some success with that. Looking back on it, I wasn't supposed to be in the job I was in. Mm-hmm. At the same time, though, that also wasn't what I was meant to do at that same time. And I didn't take time to see, you and I are both Christians. We make no bones about that. I didn't take the time to seek spiritual direction on that, you know?
Yeah.
And I'll also add to that you need to somehow find what you're supposed to be doing before you take that step.
Yeah.
And what you described earlier, to me, you got like 100% confirmation on this. Like, you knew without a doubt this is the time to do it. And the fact you talk about, like, you decided, you said you prayed about it, and then you decided, okay, that this is it, and 48 hours later.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's like, what's the quote from the Bible? Is a perverse generation that seeks after signs and wonders, but then there's a rejoinder to that but it's a foolish generation that ignores them. Yep. That's not in the Bible, but I think it's true. I think it's true, right? So, and I think that's a prime example.
I completely believe that. And there's a guy that I work with. One of he's just full of one-liners, that these nuggets of wisdom. And one of the things that he told me was, I don't need to be praying for, man, how did he say it? It's one of those like tongue twister things. He's like, I don't need to be praying for blessings for what I want to do. It's pray for what I'm supposed to do to be blessed.
Man, that's great.
And it like totally shifts my perspective. It's like, instead of just me going and doing it and saying, I hope this is blessed, I hope this is the path. It's no, figure it out first. And sometimes sometimes you have to take that leap of faith, but man, life is so much better. Life is just so much better if you are praying for that direction ahead of time. Beat the curve.
100%.
Beat the curve.
And what you described is exactly what I did. I was like, this is what I want to do. And my prayer, instead of being like, Lord, what should I do? What do you want me to do? What is your plan for me? My prayer was, all right, God, this is what I want to do. So if you don't want me to do this, let me know. Otherwise, here I go.
That's kind of where I was.
That's not right. I didn't literally pray that, but looking back on it, that's the frame of mind I was in. That's the spirit I was in. And it was like, it was not in the proper order. It was not the seeking true direction of what my purpose in life is supposed to be. And if you're not fulfilling that purpose, I'm not saying that fulfilling your purpose isn't going to be hard.
Right.
Because most likely there's going to be some difficulty there.
Yeah.
And maybe some setbacks. Yeah. But you will end up being far happier and more fulfilled if you figure out what you're supposed to do and then go do it.
Yeah, you're right, man.
100%.
So with all of that, I've shifted. I've had all these ideas in my head of, oh, well, it would be cool to do this. It'd be cool to do this. It'd be cool to do this. But I would never have time. So now I have more time. It's weird. I have more and less time than I did. I have more time to devote to creativity, but I have less time to execute it, which is, I don't know, what a paradox.
Yeah, no, it makes total sense.
But
I experienced the same thing whenever I started the record label.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
You get it. So, but now I'm having, it's like I have two passions that kind of butt heads with each other, because I love the visual and the sonic world, I guess you would call it. So
they're complementary.
They're complementary.
Yeah.
And that's what's great is like My High Rangers, the band that I'm in, I have another buddy in there that's a great videographer. And we filmed our own music video, but it's us in the studio.
Now who's this?
My High Rangers.
No. Which bandmate?
Dax.
Oh, Dax. Okay.
Yeah, Dax is a great...
Yeah, of course it's Dax.
Yeah, Dax is a great videographer.
Yeah. Dax is a great guy, by the way.
He is.
He's just phenomenal.
He is. And
super talented, too.
I can't remember why we said that we needed to do this. I think we just said, like, it'd be cool. And I told Dax, I was like, hey, let's get 2 cameras. We're going to set one up to record the entire session of us just performing this live. And the second camera is going to be B-roll the whole time. So we have things that we can cut to. So I said, all right, for this first take, you video me and the rest of the band. And then the second take, I'm going to video you and the rest of the band. So we created this illusion that there was a videographer in the room, but there was not.
Like multi cameras, like you had multi cameras.
Yeah.
Possibly even multi-camera men.
Yeah, that was the goal.
Well, I tell you what, you set that up. Let's play a clip of the video here.
Okay.
Yeah, let's do it.
Jamie, could you pull up?
Right, exactly. I thought the same thing. Yeah, I'm both Jamie and Joe.
You are.
Together. Maybe one day I can afford some more people in this operation.
You're the one-man band, man.
That's it. All right, here we go. This is Mile High Rangers, Easy Going Love. I like that bit where it was you talking before you start playing. That's nice. Is that you on that solo? Is that Cole
Yeah,
Hill?
that's
okay.
me.
Yeah.
These are not lined up at all. I could never figure that out.
It works. All right, and this is Cole Hill. This is your bandmate, co-lead singer, co-songwriter,
Co-lead guitarist. We're co-everything.
Yeah, also a phenomenal singer-songwriter, award-winning singer-songwriter, and he has a great first name.
Oh yeah, that's not biased.
The best in my opinion.
That's not.
No, objectively, it's the best name.
Okay. So there's Dax.
Dax, yeah.
Dad
Great
life.
guy. Great
Dad
guy.
life.
Yep. Good mix on this too. You mix this? Or
No.
is this Cole Hill mix?
This is Cole Hill.
Cole Hill mix this, yeah. Great mixing job on this.
There's Sam. There's Jack Riley.
It's enough for me just to be with you.
He's got a great voice too. It's funny to me how similar y'all's voices are.
I know most people think we're twins whenever we
I
go
know.
gig.
Yeah, it's like the light and the dark. The blonde one and the dark one. For real.
Love, let's take it slow. We can take it slow.
Yeah, man, it looks great. Looks absolutely fantastic.
Thanks, man.
The song sounds great. You and Dax filming this, and the way you described it, super smart way to film this and make it look like that this was you had a crew in there.
Okay, I think you would agree with this. Working smarter, not harder.
100%. Yeah. That's my motto.
But in a creative world, working smarter is expensive.
It's true.
So sometimes you gotta work harder.
No, but to me, no, that is the smart thing because you're saving money. Like that is the smart thing.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah,
I was like, well, we're saving some bucks. So.
Yeah, absolutely.
But you know, if it's an ideal world, money's not an issue, whatever.
Right.
Smarter would have been to hire a crew. Not a crew, but you know what I mean. Like just bring another videographer in there.
But the fact that you've got your own media company and you're a videographer, just like why would you do that, man?
Right.
I mean,
well, that's what I thought.
Yeah, I think your thought's great.
Yeah, because I don't know. Growing up in rural Mississippi, that's the mindset of like, well, if I can do it, why would I hire someone else to do it?
Right.
But I don't know how to, work on cars. I don't know how to work on, I don't know any construction things. I don't know any of that world. So it's really weird at 24, almost 25 years old, finally finding a thing that
having that
I ain't gonna work.
That redneck mindset,
Yeah.
if you will, and I don't mean that insultingly. I mean we're redneck. I mean we're rednecks, not the biggest definition of redneck.
No,
but
we're good old country boys.
good old country boys, that's right. But I mean there's some overlap between
There
good old
is.
country boys and rednecks.
There's
But
a little
anyway.
redneck in all of us.
But it's so fun. You're absolutely right, and I was the same way. My dad, mechanically inclined, carpentry like. He built their house.
Right.
It's phenomenal work. Worked in the oil field, knew the ins and outs from top to bottom of that, and he was the original do-it-yourselfer.
Yep.
And first of all, I have some physical limitations because of my health issues. I couldn't do that kind of stuff. But like you, I found in the arts, in the creative fields, that I can do this. I mean, look. You guys can't see the setup that we got here at the podcast, but this is like the most jury-rigged makeshift studio setup that you ever seen, and you can't see. There's all kind of junk around here. We got the camera set just right where you can't see some of the more undesirable stuff. Some of it you can because we couldn't avoid doing it, but
It's all smoke and mirrors.
it is.
That's
But
all.
This is guerrilla podcasting.
Absolutely.
And what you're doing is like guerrilla videography. And I just
Yeah.
pulled the mic there like an ignoramus. But anyway.
But that's what people want now. Like
really? Is that the market?
Well, let me rephrase that. There is a larger cult following than there used to be for
I
that
see.
style. There's a guy named Mac DeMarco. Have you ever heard of Mac DeMarco? I always want to say Mark DeMarco. but
I don't go much on the interwebs.
Well, this guy's a musician. I've never heard this term, but it's called they either called it a pocket studio or a micro studio. And it's a studio, like a music studio, the same size as the room that we're in right now. And he's got...
I've recorded an entire album
yeah.
right here that I haven't released yet.
Yeah, and he's got millions and millions and millions of streams, and people are obsessed with his methods because he gets these unique sounds that you can only get when you have to get creative. Like when you're the one-man band like you are, you have to figure out everything. And he does these things that are so crazy. Like now, we're in this digital age. He records tape. Like a super cheap tape.
I would so love to record on tape.
But it's like not the good tape. It's the bad tape that shifts the pitch. And
wow.
That might be a creative choice. He might use like super expensive tape, but I'm pretty sure it's like the cheaper rig that gives it this super unique sound. And when you go listen, you can't play in the same tuning as him. You would have to, it's not like, what is it, A440? Is that the standard? I think it's A440.
Yeah.
It's like A48 or something like that. It's something like just
a bubble off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I remember whenever I was teaching this kid how to play one of his songs called Still Beating by Mac DeMarco. I was like, what the heck? Is like the intonation of my guitar is off, or am I not holding a tune? And his wasn't either. And then we held this tuner up to one of the first notes, and it was like all wacky and out of tune. But all of that to say is people are kind of craving that raw authenticity of guerrilla podcast, guerrilla video, guerrilla audio. Like it's almost like an empowering thing.
So do you mean to tell me there might be a career for me in this after all?
You tell me, man.
After 15 years, there might be a pathway opening up. Wow.
I really do. And it's just, that's the issue of now. Today's issue is there's so much to consume. How do you find the people worth consuming their content? So that is the struggle. That is the struggle of every creative industry, I think, is there's so much to consume. It's easy to completely lose words like that. Because you're putting out such great content, but there's literally millions and millions of others. It's,
many of which already have a following.
Right.
They're already being treated well by the algorithm.
But, I mean, look, Cole's never going to tell you, but coming from somebody who is not a YouTuber and like has posted a few YouTube videos, Cole is not your average Joe Blow. He's not Joe Rogan.
Well, no.
He's not claiming to be Joe Rogan, but he'll never let you know, like, man, the guy is doing something right, and I hope he keeps doing it.
Well, I appreciate that.
I hope you do.
You know how many times that I've been like,
I know.
Should I just quit? Is this doing anything?
But I was telling somebody today, somebody was like, what are you doing today? I said, well, I'm going down to my old hometown. There's a guy, one of my best friends. He's actually got a really great following on his YouTube channel, and he wants me to come talk on his show. He's like, dude, that is sick.
Nice.
And I was like,
now if he'll just go subscribe, then we'll have something.
It was Cole Hill. So Cole Hill,
okay, nice.
Cole, you've been talked up on the show.
I talked about him on the first time you're on the show.
You did.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
But yeah,
hey, we could get him on the show.
Oh yeah, he would love that.
That'd be great.
He'd be
awesome.
great. Yeah. Now, if you want to have some, if you want to have a time, you get Dak Smith on here.
Oh, dude,
he used to have a podcast called Chasing Rabbits.
Really?
Because
I did not know that.
Because he has like severe ADHD.
Right. Yes.
And his life is chasing rabbits and conversations.
Yeah.
So, what I'm trying to say is, like, you should pat yourself on the back, man.
Well, I appreciate
you need to he's going to be weird about this. He's not going to accept this compliment, but he'll accept.
I'm trying to be like, yeah, okay, thanks.
Cole's got that imposter syndrome. That's
no, I do not have imposter syndrome.
No,
I know how great I am. See, I flipped it on you.
You did. Okay, everything that I thought I knew about Cole's wrong.
Yeah.
So anyway, Yeah, I think we're in this really unique space now where I think the people that are in their storage parts of their house are being rewarded. It's just who's going to stick it out the longest.
That's true. That's right. Yeah.
So, man, I'm sorry. I diverted so
this
much.
This is great content. This is gonna make great content. I'm gonna be able to clip this section out. We're gonna have a great video. This is gonna be the biggest video that we've ever had on the channel.
Okay.
So it's interesting that you're saying all this. The big thing right now for me, and I did the last episode of the podcast, it was the last episode of the podcast I did, was on the problems with YouTube not pushing videos out anymore, and they're throttling channels. It's not just me. Phil from Wings of Pegasus, I don't know if you watched the episode, but talked about Phil from Wings of Pegasus. He's having the same issues. He's got like almost 500,000 followers.
Right. Crazy.
Huge. I don't know how many views he's got. Way more than we have. He's having the same issue. After I released that video, there was another musician who was been doing reactions. He just hit like 1,000 followers, and said when he did 1,000, he commented this on our video, that he the same thing's been happening to him after he hit 1,000 followers.
Yep.
So it's like that's something we're gonna have to navigate. So maybe if we just keep pushing forward, just don't give up, as long as that's what we're supposed to do, because we talked about that earlier.
That's important.
And that's something I've had to continually seek direction on, try to figure out, am I supposed to keep doing it? And every single time it's like, yep, I need to keep doing this.
Doesn't that stink sometimes?
It does, because it's like, man, it would be so easy to quit. It would be so easy to quit. I would feel so much better in the moment. But if I'm giving up on something that I'm not supposed to give up on, I know in the long run it's going to be bad for me.
Yep.
And I'm going to be kicking myself for it, because I've already been down that road. I've already done that.
Right.
But anyway, let me ask you real quick while we're on this subject. AI, where does that play into this?
Into like how I feel, or
into the industry, into these creators you're talking about? Is it going to help or is it going to hinder?
Okay. I have like two competing thoughts. One of my competing thoughts is, okay, on one side, I'm thinking AI is huge. Well, both sides think that. I mean, that's just no question. AI is here, and it's huge, and it's bigger than we thought it would be. One part of me is like, people are going to see so much of AI created content, that it's going to get to the point where it's like, oh my gosh, can somebody please give me an imperfection that's not Uncanny Valley? But then I also is like, okay, yeah, everybody said that about radio. I don't want to be the guy that says, oh, this is just a trend. And yeah, I'm the person that's like, look at this idiot who said this 100 years ago.
These horseless carriages will never catch on.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I think it's a threat and a helper all at the same time. Where I draw the line for AI, I mean, I enjoy asking questions and never thought about it like that. But I don't use any AI for content. None. I don't use it for script writing. I don't use it for, I don't know. It just feels, for me personally, I'm not saying for people that do use it, this is not a dig at them. This is just me personally. It just doesn't feel genuine whenever I create a video that the only thing that wasn't AI was me hitting record, or me creating a song and the only thing that wasn't artificial intelligence was me hitting record or just playing my guitar part over an AI generated song. It just doesn't feel real to me. I'm sure I know that AI could write a better song than I can. That's the scary part.
I don't know about that. I've seen some of the AI stuff, and it's just like, maybe they could write a more poppy commercial song.
Yeah.
But objectively better in terms of quality? I don't know, man.
I don't know. I've sent it some of my songs, and I would say, hey, I need you to unpack these lyrics. If you want to get your feelings hurt, ask AI to. Well, actually, AI is going to try its best to make you feel great. That's the issue. Is AI is going to always pat you on the back and say you're so good.
That's not necessarily been my experience. What AI are you using? ChatGPT?
ChatGPT.
Yeah. See, I've never used ChatGPT.
Okay, well then ChatGPT is just there to.
Yeah, I just read an article on this the other day about ChatGPT like being super.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, you're great. You're the best. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been using Rock.
Doesn't feel that way.
It doesn't. There's limitations to it, and I haven't really been doing songs. I've been doing other writing, which I'm working on some stuff, and I'll use it for feedback, and it's usually it softens its criticism, but it doesn't hold back. Like it's not harsh.
Yeah.
But it will be like, yeah, here are some suggestions for strengthening this.
Okay, ChatGPT will do that. Yeah. It'll say you're very close, but.
Yeah, see, this isn't. I don't think I haven't even had Grok like go that soft.
Really? Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah. So
ChatGPT is the participation trophy award.
Right. Yeah, that's kind of the vibe that I got all that.
Yeah, but if you tell it if you say, "Hey, I need you to be brutally honest about this,"
right? That's another thing in the prompt. That's
like
true.
you said, it's trained to it's programmed to
positive.
be positive.
Yeah.
Energy, man.
Yeah, positive energy, man. So on the AI part of like movie creation, since you're now in the videography game,
yeah.
What do you feel about that? Have you seen the new what's
Google
the new
Veo?
Google? Yeah.
Is it Veo or Veo? Veo.
I don't know how it's
probably
pronounced.
Veo.
I don't know how it's pronounced. I don't think I've heard it pronounced. So this thing I'm seeing it spelled.
Yeah.
Have you seen those clips?
Yeah. All I gotta say is to these people that have parents like 55 and beyond, you need to train them on what is AI and what's not. Because I've been fooled before. And
you're a Zoomer.
Yeah.
You have been, you were basically handed a phone in the nursery at the hospital when you were born.
Now, hold on. I remember when the iPod came out.
Okay. Wow, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, yeah.
Consider
wasn't it like
that?
2004?
Yeah, but your memory is so terrible. I'm surprised that you...
Yeah, but see, we were still with Blackberries and Razors and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Was it the Blackberry Razor? Is that what it was?
I can't remember. I had...
Motorola Razor. That's what it was.
Motorola Razor, yeah.
So
I had the BlackBerry. Let's see, what was mine called? BlackBerry.
I think it was just the BlackBerry, wasn't it?
Yeah, but I had like the BlackBerry whatever.
Okay.
Because they all had like I remember Brittany my wife had the BlackBerry World Edition, I think, and then I had like a BlackBerry one. That was actually my favorite phone was BlackBerry. I hate touchscreens.
Well, you know what? You probably could get sponsored. I think they're still making phones.
They had last I saw they had tried to like transition, I think, to touchscreen or something. I'm like, that's
Come on, just stick. Anyway, so it's really compelling. It's really easy to be like, whoa, I didn't realize that was AI. And I have seen so many people of my grandma's age reposting these videos where it's like, look at this beached whale that puts itself back into the ocean. It's like, it's not real, guys. But it's really convincing. Really convincing. So I just kind of feel like, I don't know. I think it kind of is like the same thing as CGI, where it's really cool, and I'm glad that it's here. But I'm one of those guys that likes the old Star Wars movies more because it's real.
Did you see, speaking of which, you saw that the original print, 1977 unaltered, they screened it. Lucasfilm screened it. I can't remember where this was, maybe like some kind of film festival or whatever. If anybody's watching this far into the show, they can put in the comments. And there are these critics writing articles about how the original Star Wars cut is actually not as good as the additions, the CG additions, because now you can tell that it's... No. And I'm like, no, I have watched it in HD, in 4K in recent years because of fans taking prints. And it's like, no, that's not true. It's better It looks better.
It feels better.
It feels better. And I would much like when George Lucas did the CG Yoda in the prequels.
Yeah.
The puppet Yoda, to me, way more realistic.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
More realistic.
Yeah. And I just think it's going to be kind of the same thing where it's kind of like us talking about How to Train Your Dragon. Like, I was like, whoa, that was great. That was cool. I like that they did this with CGI. And I think it'll all be personal taste.
Well, see, here's the difference between CG and AI to me. Let's see if you agree. CG has been pretty much industry specific. Like you don't have the average Joe with the knowledge in the software to make CG movies. AI is currently available to anybody that can pay just a little bit of money.
Yeah.
And right now, I know there's limitations like the Google VO. There's limitations to how much you can produce in a time period. That's going to change. Like in the next year or two, like you're going to be able to make. It's going to get to the point where
it just keeps learning.
Well, a Joe Blow is going to be able to go into their computer, write a prompt, or maybe they've got a script. Or okay, they're going to go over to ChatGPT and they're going to say, "Hey, write me a script in this genre," and they may even provide a few more specifics. And ChatGPT is going to spit out a script, and then they're going to go over to Google VO or whatever other AI video, and they're going to put that script in there, and they're going to say, "All right, make me this movie." And in no time at all, that movie's going to be available. What is that going to do to the industry? I mean, you're getting into videography. You're starting to shoot stuff. You've shot 2 music videos for me.
Yeah.
Like, I don't intend to go down the AI route for my music videos or anything else I may create. There are other people, particularly studios, who are going to be looking to cut costs because, you know, the movie industry is floundering right now.
Yeah.
So what is that going to do to the industry when anybody can go make any kind of movie they want on demand at the touch of a button?
I think that it's going to water everything down. I think it's going to be kind of like when SoundCloud was huge and it's like, whoa, now everybody can, you know, distribute their music, and yeah, everyone can do it. But that means everyone can do it, you know? So I think that there is going to be a mixed bag of... No, I don't think there's going to be a mixed bag. I think that there's going to be like... You're going to be able to eventually tell, oh, this was Joe Blow that made a ChatGPT prompt that... Like, I think we're going to be so used to it at a point that we're going to be like, oh, Joe Blow made this, and ChatGPT probably had written the script, and then Google VO probably made this video. I think we'll get to that point. Like, I think humans are so adaptable that we can catch on. And then the people that are creating real, organic, authentic things, music, video, whatever, we're going to resonate with that more because we're humans. I mean, why is a mannequin creepy? You know, a mannequin is creepy. It looks like
it's not quite human. That's the uncanny valley. That's what that's talking about.
And I think AI has always had this uncanny valley.
But do you think that's going to go away as the technology improves and you literally won't be able to tell? Like, they'll be able to make imperfections and it's going to look like real. I mean, 100% real. You just don't see it happening?
I mean, I do, but I think eventually, that's what I'm saying. I think we'll eventually be able to say, it might take years, but I think we'll eventually be able to say,
So you're actually going like kind of in a reverse. Not that you can tell it now, but maybe later you won't. You're thinking, okay, maybe there's some things we're already having difficulty telling, but eventually mankind will adapt and be able to recognize AI instantly, no matter how good it is. It's kind of like what you're saying.
Maybe.
Okay. Okay, just throwing it out there. I liked your SoundCloud analogy. That's one of the best analogies I think I've heard of this. I do think not everybody is a creative, and that's I always have to bring that to my mind because, you know, I'm a creative person. You're a creative person. Your wife's a creative person. So you got a double dose that you're always like in a creative world. Not everybody is a creative person. So there are some people that won't be interested in making their own stuff.
Right.
So that audience will always be there for the traditional movie model, right? And the TV shows. And like you're saying, they may go check out this SoundCloud-like AI world where everybody's making stuff, but because most of it is junk, and that was true with SoundCloud too. And I was on SoundCloud. I'm still on SoundCloud. I still have stuff on SoundCloud. It's been there for years. That most of the stuff you went and listened to, it wasn't that good. You know, it wasn't well produced, or if it was well produced, may not have been well written, or if it was well written, may not have been, you know. Okay. Yeah. I like that analogy. You're probably right about that. You are going to have those some creative people who are going to make this stuff, and maybe they take a little bit more. Maybe they write their own script. Mm-hmm. Maybe they edit the AI movies by hand. Maybe they tell the AI to make it, and then they go in there and edit. Maybe they don't like a scene, they go in and tell the AI to write another scene. Okay. What about those people? Do they rise to the top and create a separate market, a new market for AI specifically generated films? Does that become part of the mainstream movie and television media market? Like, what do you think about that?
Well, it's easy to, in my opinion, it's easy to always just use music as an analogy. Like, okay, before Spotify, Apple Music, SoundCloud, we had physical, we consumed music physically with a CD, with a tape, like cassette tapes, or with vinyl records. So that was what everyone had known. Then Napster shows up. And to me, that was the precursor to Spotify and Apple Music, SoundCloud, YouTube Music, whatever you want to call it. And a lot of things it was like uncapped. Like it was illegal, but there were no regulations on it. So for a while there, it was like the Wild West, which is kind of where we're at with AI. With
AI, you're right.
We're in the Wild West of AI because there are no regulations. As far as I know, I mean, there might be that I'm just not aware of.
I think what's happening is there are policies being put in place by the companies to try to avoid, like the AI companies themselves are starting to put like their own rules in place
to give
before litigation and legislation comes in.
Yeah, well, I mean,
but yeah, there's been no official regulations that I know of.
So to me, I think we're in the Wild West right now, and eventually, I don't know. We have lived in such a regulated world since the dawn of time. It's like, yeah, you can do whatever you want, but if you do this, then this is going to happen. That has been going on since the dawn of time. Yeah, 100%. And I just really think that AI is going to get to a point. Right now, we're in the honeymoon phase of AI. You know, the Wild West, the honeymoon phase. And eventually, something is going to cause a huge stink with someone that matters. Like, there's already huge stinks with AI.
Well, you know, right now there is one of the big publishing companies is suing one of the AI firms. Well, I take that back. There was a publishing company that sued one of the AI firms for training the AI, copyright infringement for training the AI on works that they had published, that the publishing company had published.
Okay.
The judge ruled, from my understanding, that it was fair use for them to use the copyrighted works to train the AI. But apparently, the way they acquired the copyrighted material was not through legal means. I don't know if they downloaded from Internet Archive or took screenshots off a Kindle or something. I don't know.
Right.
But the judge ruled that it was piracy, or that it was likely piracy, or whatever. So now this company is being sued for copyright infringement on those grounds. So when you've got AI video and AI audio being trained on the Disney's IP or Universal Music Group's IP, and they're going to be opened up for litigation.
Yeah.
And I heard it suggested recently that if these companies, just like say Disney was the example that I heard that was used, if Disney added like an AI IP side, or maybe a separate app than Disney Plus, that allows users on the platform to make their own AI movies using Disney IP, and the creators are paying Disney to use it. People that aren't the creative types but want to go on there and see what is being used are paying a subscription fee to be able to go on there and watch this stuff. And there will be some of it will be junk. It's like you're talking about SoundCloud earlier. Like a bunch of it will be junk.
Yeah.
But then you'll have some people that are going to be really good.
Yeah.
And they're going to make, the best. Like right now, I have an outline for a Spider-Man TV series set in the 60s that would just kill. Yeah. Like if I went on there, put that outline in, or wrote a script, and an AI was able to create it, like that might actually get some attention from users on this platform, this theoretical platform. And then I become this famous AI producer, director for having made, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That opens up an interesting point, because like maybe AI content becomes like a cult following thing. Instead of it
taking over the mainstream, it just becomes another piece of the market.
Yeah, I think
like an art house film.
Yeah, because AI is limited to its prompt writers. So it just depends on how great of a prompt writer are you. Because you could be, Christopher Nolan, but what if he stunk at prompt writing?
One of the greatest living directors, probably the greatest director of the 21st century.
Yeah.
What if he is awful at writing AI prompts?
Right. So
that's great. I love it.
That could be. That's unlikely because
he's a genius.
He's a genius. There's no way you'd be bad at writing prompts.
Right.
I don't know.
But as our mutual Uncle Donald said, everybody's smart about something.
Everybody's smart about something. So I guess what I'm saying is like maybe usually when people make these like truth claims of AI is going to take over everything and we're not going to be able to scale it back by 40%.
I agree.
And that's probably what's going to happen.
I agree with that.
And what I see that being, and you've kind of changed my perspective a little bit, maybe it's going to be cult followings. Like, ooh, I love this AI created content. And that's
like people that listen to lo-fi.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's a market for it. It's a small part of the market. It's a niche.
Yeah.
Niche, that's the word.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think realistically, AI will be introduced into modern filmmaking, like the big studios, but kind of like how CGI was, where it was like, we're going to use AI for this scene.
And I can see, like, if this thing occurs where you got like this AI platform where you can play with these big intellectual properties, if somebody gets like 1 billion views or 2 million followers or whatever, I can see those AI prompt writers, because that's what they really are, right?
Yeah.
That's what they are. That's their biggest skill, being able to write the prompt. I say that if they're writing their own script, that's a little bit better. I can see the major studios coming to them and hiring them to write their AI stuff to the big.
That's a good point.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Maybe not.
But I think but then you get into like biting the hand that feeds you with, okay, you go hire this huge AI, this AI creator, prompt writer. You go hire them. Well, then you step on the toes of your script writers. You step on the toes of your...
Yeah, you're right. And there's a lot of unionizing and guilds there. So there'd have to be some kind of...
That's why I think it's going to eventually get so regulated that I think that there's going to have to be one big stink with somebody or something that matters, not just me or you.
Right.
You know?
Right. Oh, yeah.
Like it's going to have to be like you're saying, an intellectual property thing.
Yeah.
Where Mickey Mouse gets used. And
Mickey Mouse is public domain now.
Oh, wow, I'm surprised.
They didn't extend the protections.
He
He should have been public domain way before now.
It should have been like in the 30s, wasn't it?
No, that's when he was created.
Oh.
It was in.
Well, then it should have been like the 40s or 50s because like the first public domain laws were like super limited, right?
Yeah, I mean, he still. I think it was. I have to go back and look. I've researched this before because I've done episodes on copyright stuff and written blog posts and stuff. But I think it was like originally the copyright laws changed in the 70s.
Okay.
And before that, there was like you had to renew it every so often, whatever. And then after the 70s, that changed. And then in the 90s, there was another major change. And basically, it was lobbying these corporations were lobbying for this stuff because they didn't want to lose this big IP. And it's gotten to the point now where the tide has kind of turned, where previously the political class was on the side of the corporations, like, yeah, let's give them this protection. And now it's kind of like, actually, guys, y'all have had this long enough.
Yeah.
And that's why Mickey's now. And look, dude, you're fixing to get Superman's fixing to be public domain, Captain America's fixing to be public domain, and then you'll get into Batman, all that stuff. And I'm pro that, like, particularly with the corporations. I've talked about this before on episodes and written about it. The corporations, they're treated like individuals, but they're really not.
They're not. There are many.
And that's correct. They're the collective.
They are the collective.
Anyway, and the copyright laws were originally written to incentivize and protect individual authors. And they have those laws, to me, have been abused by the corporations within this system that has come up with all these conglomerates buying up all the IP. I mean, just like Sony just bought, I think it was Sony, just bought all of Bob Dylan's catalog, all of Bruce Springsteen's catalog, all of Queen's catalog, I think. If it wasn't them, somebody else bought all of Queen's catalog. It's like all of these people, a lot of them, some of them have died. The ones that haven't died are going to die soon. And these corporations are going to have own this stuff for how long and control these big public classics.
Yeah.
You think about this. Romeo and Juliet. I did an episode. I think I mentioned this on an episode. Romeo and Juliet was based on a work that was based on a work. And, of course, Romeo and Juliet considered one of the greatest works of art of all time. If U.S. copyright laws had been in effect in Europe during that time period, Shakespeare could have never written that play.
That's true.
So how many great works of art are we missing?
That's true.
Because we can't base anything or use any pre-existing IP that's been composed in the last 100 years.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, what if we never had Weird Al Yankovic?
There it is. Not really. No, hey, look,
I love some Weird Al.
I like Weird Al. White nerdy. That was my theme song in college. Just saying.
Well, yeah. So, that's a great point. So, I think eventually, my opinion is, it's going to get used. It's going to be ubiquitous, but it's going to be a lot less than what everybody's making it out to be.
Yeah, I agree. I think both sides that are like, oh, it's going to replace everybody. I think that's ridiculous.
Yeah. Because I think it would have already.
And there's two sides to that too. It's like, oh, it's gonna replace everybody. It's gonna be great. We can go do other things. And then there's other people that's like, no, it's gonna replace everybody that's bad. And then there are other people like, oh, it's gonna destroy the entire world. I think all of those extreme viewpoints, I don't think they're going to come to pass.
Yeah.
That usually doesn't happen. But anyway, now for something that uses no AI whatsoever, the video for my song, Outlive My Life, that you shot, you were the videographer on that, did a fantastic job. This has been nominated, the song has been nominated for Folk Song of the Year at the Joseph Music Awards.
Yep.
The video has gotten Performance Enhanced Video of the Year, and I have gotten a Best Actor nomination, which is insane.
That's crazy.
I have come a long way from the vacation Bible school plays of my youth. So, the crazy thing about this song is, I think you know the story on this. I basically worked on it for 20 years. I wrote the first version of this when I was right after I turned 17, like 2 weeks after I turned 17. And I released it that was in 2005, November 2005. I released this in October of last year. So that's 19 years. So you're almost to 20 years. And I sent this to you. I wanted to kind of do a bit of development of a song and kind of show what it's like. First, let me play. I want to play a little bit of the video so the audience can hear the finished version of the song before I play some of the older demos. Yeah, I think that, yes, let's go right there. So here's video, some great shots. This shot right here was all you. Like I told you, find me, do something, get some more footage from different angles, and you did this. It looks great. Let's back this up just a little bit.
Well, I hate to tell you, friend, but I'm already gone. I've lived my life. Whoa, yeah. I've lived my time. Yeah, the world has changed.
Great shots, man.
But
Close up of the eyes.
Not everybody has those lashes like you, Cole.
I know, right? Got some beast in lashes if I do see some myself, man. Is that even? Does people say beast anymore? Is that like? Okay, sorry.
You should keep that in so people can see how.
Oh, that's we're not editing that out. Good. We're not editing that out. And then whenever we get to the second chorus, we got a full orchestra going.
Thou live my life. Oh yeah. Thou live my time.
More great videography work from you. And also, you actually shot this before you started your media company, which is why it doesn't have an association with Kyle Graves Media on it, which is what I would have put that on there if your media company had been rolling at the time. But anyway, so I sent this to you. I don't know whether you remember or not. I sent this to you last year. I have the original demos.
Oh yeah, I remember this.
Okay.
Because I was like.
So I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna play it. Just kind of a little bit of a.
You should.
To show the audience what it's like to develop a song. And Kyle's staring at my chair over there.
It's been tore up.
Anyway, no, it was perfectly fine.
No, I'm saying like I tore it up. And
it's back there shuffling.
There we go. We're back to normal. Okay.
And I'm gonna keep the camera on you this whole time for this. I'm not gonna.
Now you can actually see it when I go.
Yeah.
Did you see me do that?
I saw your face. I was like, oh, whatever. And I didn't want to know about myself. But anyway, so here is Outlive My Life, the original cut. Now, I wrote it in November 2005. I had just turned 17. I just got my first record equipment it's like a birthday / Christmas present. And we had Thanksgiving at my Uncle David's house, who you knew. And always at these family get-togethers, somebody brought out the guitars. We started playing around. We do a lot of hymns and classic country western. And I went home and I just started really trying to seriously write songs like that I might actually be able to write and try to make a career out of something. And I wrote 3 songs like in 2 days after that Thanksgiving Day music jam session. 2 of them were like these alternative pop rock stuff, the stuff that actually kind of ended up on my first record, but not near as fleshed out or formed or marketable as that stuff. much more on the alternative side. Alternative meaning nobody's going to listen to it. This one though was more into the classic country western style. It's kind of a country western ballad, and ironically, it was about a singer-songwriter musician at the end of his life, lamenting his bygone career. And here I was, it's basically the first decent song I ever wrote. I'm writing about this washed-up singer-songwriter who's dying. And the verses were not really good at all. They were short and weak. They were not very basic vocabulary, and they were like 2 lines maybe, I can't remember. Yeah. But the chorus, I thought the chorus had some potential there. The line "Outlive My Life" I thought was something that was unique and different. Yeah. That I had never heard before, but that immediately gets an idea across. Right. What does outlive my life mean? You get that immediately. Oh, you've gone past the point where you're productive, where you're valuable, or at least in your mind.
Right.
And
it's
that's
living
where
on past you.
Right. And that's where the character that's singing this song is. I want to play the first demo. I cut this, I think, in February of 2006. And I had just started singing.
And how old were you during this?
I was 17. And I just started really singing. I just started trying to make a serious go of writing songs. The only singing I'd ever done was in congregationals in church. And it doesn't really count. I just started recording too. This is one of the first songs I recorded. Here we go. Oh, let's turn it up. It's super low.
I live my life. Whoa, I live my time.
This doesn't sound like you at all.
I know.
What has changed?
And I got my DI Epiphone electric plugged in and an acoustic overdub. Kind of a slow, mournful country ballad. But lyrically.
Oh, yeah.
Lyrically. Okay, there's something there. All right. And also, I want to show you this. This was actually taken the summer previous, but there wasn't a lot of change. This is... That's who's singing. That's who's singing that.
That's the face associated with the voice.
Yes, there it is. There it is. I was technically 16 whenever this was shot, but again, there was not a lot of change between this picture.
That's crazy,
and
man.
The demo. Yeah. So then a couple of years later, I hung on to the song. I thought there was something there. I worked on it a little bit more, and I cut another demo. I think I may have done all the tracking in 2010. I definitely think the vocals are from 2010. And I've been singing. I've been trying to make my voice better. I was I'd kind of landed on an 90s alternative rock vocal sound, which I eventually, abandoned. I think you can still hear some influences in there, but that's what I was trying to really, really hone in on at the time. I think I cut these vocals in 2010. It may have been 08. I think it's 2010. So let's say 4 years later, here's the next iteration of the song. Nice full acoustic sound.
I live my life.
Noticeable increase of skill, tone control.
100%. But I'm totally trying to do Eddie Vedder here.
Yes, you are.
To a country western ballad. I don't know. Maybe I should have stuck with that. That might have been my bag. I don't know. And the guitar playing much better also.
Yeah. I live my life.
Okay, so here we are. That's 4 years later. My artistry's better. My delivery's better.
Yep.
But as you can see, I felt like that the chorus was good enough that I didn't really change the lyrics.
Yeah.
So I hung on to that, and in the 2010s, folk started kind of making a comeback. Like there was these pop folk
Lumineers,
Mumford & Sons, Lumineers. That was a good one. Even the band Fun had some folk trappings in there. You had Philip Phillips won American Idol, and he was doing like some folk-based stuff. So by 2015, I was almost at the end of the first leg of my career by 2015. And like the year before that, I'd started playing this live in concert, just solo acoustic to try to fill out a set. Like if we were doing a full band show, it was just like, okay, we need another song. I'll do Outlive My Life. I really like the song. I feel like it's old school folk, but old school folk has kind of made a comeback, and it could easily be new school folk.
You're getting into the stomp and holler era.
That's correct. Excellent. Absolutely. And I started playing this live, and Tony Norton, who is a mutual friend of ours, he just loved the song. Like, it's one of the greatest songs he ever heard.
I could see this. I could see Tony just
right in his wheelhouse, because he's got a great record too.
He does.
You know, I still haven't heard his second record. I need to. Tony, if you're watching this, which I don't even know if he knows I'm doing a podcast, but if you're watching this, I need that second record. But anyway, so I played this in 2015. I cut another demo of the rearrangement, making it more of folk instead of country western, and I ended up not doing anything with the record except send it to Tony Norton. So,
dude, if you can get, like, honestly, Tony Norton's seal of approval means a lot.
Oh, 100%. He's one of the best songwriters to ever come out of this area.
Like,
it's phenomenal.
And Tony is another one of those guys, like, if he heard us say it, I'd be like, no, don't say that. Stop. Don't say that.
Right.
And he would be like, oh, compliment. I can't take it.
I got to be sure to clip this and get somebody to send it to him.
But you're right, though. He is one of the best songwriters out here.
100%.
He doesn't even know it.
I don't know. I don't know how, man. Like,
I know
he's just too humble, I guess.
He is.
But he's like, hey, go check out his record. It is called Songs from an Unfinished House, the only one he actually publicly released.
Yeah.
It's on Spotify last I looked, and on Apple Music, I guess. Go check that out. Tony Norton, Songs from an Unfinished House. Anyway, so I cut this one and sent it to Tony, and this is the folk version.
Thou live my life. Whoa, yeah.
I feel like my voice actually sounds younger than it did in the previous. Definitely smoother.
I definitely think so. Yeah.
Which is funny because maybe it needed a gruffer sounding voice. It's supposed to be an old dude singing it.
Well, you're kind of leaning into more of the previous ones. You were singing more from like down here, I guess.
Yeah.
Like, and then it's almost like you're in the middle now.
And I was trying to project a gravel from my throat on the way up.
Yeah, and in this, it's like you're more of just like like your timbre is more of a mid range rather than you're trying to like lean into the low sounding timbre. If that makes sense.
That makes total sense. Yeah, I totally agree. So, as you can see, the development. By this point we're 10 years in, right?
Huge change,
and I think for the better. And I think it lends itself to the folk style. And I think the folk style is both classic and modern because we've had the resurgence that it's still going on. There's still a lot of folk music out there. You know, Avi Kaplan, I think, is doing some really, really good stuff.
Yeah.
With the folk side, I've done a lot of reactions to him. I know you sent me one the other day. I hadn't heard. I was like, I'm sorry, I can't listen to this. I gotta do a reaction to it.
You need to react to it like tomorrow.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, absolutely. So, and then of course, the current version that was released and is now up for 3 awards at the Joseph Music Awards that'll be held at the Grand Ole Opry in Nashville in November. Here we go, 2024 version. Vocally, I'm about the same as I was on the previous cut. A little bit more mature, I feel like.
I was about to say, you seem looser in this.
Yeah, I agree.
Like it's more natural by this point.
Yeah, this is after I quit performing. Got more natural after I quit.
Yeah.
And of course, we got the full production with the strings and the kick drum and the bass. So yeah, and so I guess the reason I want to play that and go through that is for any young creators that are out there, the lessons from this are don't throw anything away.
No, don't. For real.
Even if you think it's terrible, or even if you initially think it's great and then are looking back on it in a week or a month or a year and then think it's terrible, don't throw it away. You may be able to come back to it and do something with it and work on it, analyze it, try to figure out what works, what doesn't work, get rid of what doesn't work, hone in on what works, continue to work. If you're singing, continue to work on your voice, develop that, continue to work on your musicianship, and maybe in 20 years, you might get nominated for a major award.
That's absolutely true. Like, you're living proof of that, man. That's very cool.
I appreciate that, man.
That's very cool, because you could have easily just said, well, the chorus is the only thing that I like in this. I don't feel like finishing it.
100%. It'd been very easy. It would have been very easy.
And it was tempting.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. 100%. 100%. So there's Outlive My Life. Again, the video was shot by Kyle Graves. It's with us in the studio, and he just did a phenomenal job, obviously, or would not be up for this award. And this goes right in with your new videography business. Go check out Kyle on, let's see, you're on Instagram. You just launched your YouTube page, Kyle Graves Media.
Yeah.
Go subscribe to that. Go follow him on Instagram. You got some really nice stuff on Instagram. And I've actually got a screenshot I'm going to put up, not a screenshot, but a screen recording showing your pages I'm going to put up here. And go check him out. Go follow him on whatever platform that you're on. All right, let's wrap the show up with a music reaction. This is kind of how the YouTube channel, if you're watching this on YouTube, this is kind of how the YouTube channel, this is how the YouTube channel became anything, how we've got now 1.2 million views.
It's crazy.
Is that insane or what?
That's awesome.
We're over 7,500 subscribers. And our biggest video was a music reaction that you did a year and a half ago.
I never learned that song.
Roy Clark, Malaguena. I actually was going to mention. So, Roy Clark, Malaguena, live on The Odd Couple. Did I ever, this is going to be a side note here. Did I ever tell you, did you see that comment, that idiot comment on that video right after it came out, where somebody says, you said Jack Lemmon and Walter Matthau. I'm not listening to this anymore because you don't know what you're talking about. And there's something along those lines. Yeah. And I said, how to tell us that you didn't watch the video after longer than 15 seconds without telling us you didn't watch the video longer than 15 seconds. And he responded back with something like, why do I have to watch the video? I'd seen all I needed to see, and you didn't know what you're talking about because this is Tony Randall and Jack Klugman. And I said, because I was telling about the original movie before clarifying that
it's like,
this wasn't that gas.
It's like, hey, so you definitely thought that the second iteration was the only living thing. Good job.
Right. So it was just, anyway, it was just really, I don't think he ever responded.
That's the internet, ladies and gentlemen.
That's the internet. But anyway, so that was our biggest video. It was Roy Clark on The Odd Couple playing Malaguena. And I challenged you at the end of that to learn Malaguena. You're like, yeah, I gave you a year to do it. And we still have people subscribing, being like, yeah, I subscribed to see Kyle do this song. And you still haven't done the song. So
I'm still working on it.
I'm going to
keep subscribing.
Right.
Keep watching videos because
it's going to become a running gag. It's going to be like 10 years.
Oh, no. No. In 2 days, I'm going to have this mastered.
Right. Yeah, right. Because you've already been working on it for 18 months.
It only takes 2 more days.
So this one, I'm not going to issue you a challenge on. I just want you to watch it. This is Roy Clark playing Folsom Prison Blues, which is a song that's near and dear to us both.
Oh, yeah.
We both grew up on this classic country western style at Folsom Prison Blues. I did a rock blues version whenever I first started performing that ended up being huge. Everybody stole it, including you eventually whenever you started
stole the crap
playing.
out of it.
And we actually released a recorded version of Folsom Prison Blues as Southern Gentry Music Review. You can go check that out, Spotify review stuff. And I love the version. I've got it on the Modern Rock playlist. You can go check that out on the Cole Powell Spotify artist profile. And my kids listen to this all the time, and that playlist all the time, and that song will rotate in. And whenever it comes on, you start out with the lead vocals. I'm on acoustic guitar. I think it holds up really well.
Yeah. And
I can't say that about every song that I have engineered, mixed, and released, because some of them come up and I'm like, oh, this just doesn't, I should have done this.
There's just a magic between Cole and me in the studio.
Okay, it's getting a little weird. I'm not gonna lie. But okay, let's move on here. Now, anyway, this is Roy Clark doing Folsom Prison Blues. I think it's got the year on here. Let me look here. 1964, the Jimmy Dean show. You know Jimmy Dean, Big John, Big Bad John. Okay, this was his show. And there is no lip syncing. This is totally live, and you'll be able to see how we know that for sure as we get into it here. So let's go. Roy Clark, live, Folsom Prison Blues, 1964, Jimmy Dean show.
Here's a tune, been one of my favorites, and I'm sure that you'll recognize it. It's one called One of My Favorites. Well, you can't hardly get around that. I hear that train a-coming, it's coming around the bend.
The facial expressions.
That's a train coming around the bend there. Part. I ain't seen the sunshine since I don't know when. Lord, I'm stuck in Folsom Prison. Time keeps dragging by. Well, that'll make your eyes smart. Every time I hear that freight train, I hang my head and I cry. Yeah, cry.
All right, I will stop right here. I got to ask you. Could you do that? Could you slip in and out of comedy and incorporate?
No.
Yeah, me either. There's like no way. There's no way.
He is a master of the guitar. Like, there's just nobody can deny he's a master of the guitar. But he's also a master of, like, comedic relief, comedic timing. And you're either good at one thing or you're good at the other. He's good at both. And at the same time. Yeah. I mean, this is crazy. Just for him to be able to, I don't think people understand how hard it is for somebody that's that talented to be that intentionally not good.
Right.
That it's
and good.
Yeah, like his goal for all these people that are like, are you saying that he's bad? No, I'm not saying he's bad. No. He is so good that he can be bad and it sounds good.
It's the entire performance is a comedy bit.
Yep.
Yet everything he's doing is totally intentional. All the good stuff, all the quota, and him starting out. It's called one of my favorites.
It's hilarious.
It's hilarious. I saw somebody in the comments say something to the effect of, this guy has. They obviously know who Roy Clark was, or were acting like they didn't know who he was. I guess. But anyway, said he has a surprisingly modern sense of deadpan humor.
Yeah. His book is beyond his time.
Right. Yeah. This is 1964. Like, you know, and I've watched a lot of stuff from that period. This is something different. This is something unique. You didn't see anybody doing that.
No.
And I love his bits. The train.
That's a train.
And then he takes the drag. Yeah. That's a train. Like, he's having to explain the joke.
By the way, everybody.
That's right.
Hold on.
Good. Right. It's so good. All right. Let's get back to it.
Just a baby, my mama told me, son, always be a good boy. Don't ever play with guns, but I shot a man in Reno. Just go watch him die.
Like it'd have been a Gatling gun, too.
I know, it's so
And
impressive.
every time I hear that freight train, I hang my head and I cry. Oh, pick it out one time, Luther.
Wow.
Yep.
Them faces.
Watch his leg work.
It's like you scratch a dog on its stomach.
For real. I feel like it's kind of poking at Elvis a little bit.
Absolutely, them hips.
Yeah.
Go like think it looks funny out there. You're sitting back here. Looks like a.
Can't say that on live television.
Well, it's an interlude. 1, 2, 3.
I thought that was a funny line. Nobody laughed at that one.
I bet I surely will. I bet there's people eating in that fancy dining
Like you just
bar.
remembered the lyrics.
Oh yeah.
Smoking whiskey, drinking a big cigar, but I know I had it coming.
It's like Roger Miller now.
Yeah.
Did you see what I done then? Had my thumb on top, I was making it go down on the down on the down on the down. With my thumb, man.
Oh wow. That's pretty wild. What? Now that's probably one of the most impressive things I've seen in this whole video. Yeah.
Well, every year that part's getting harder and harder to do. All I do is cry. Rum-dum. Every time I hear that freight train leave one more time, I hang my head and I cry. I think we've had it, Luther. We better take it out or it's still ahead, boss.
And then he just does a little mini shred there at the end.
100%. What'd you think?
Oh man, like I think people just I don't know. The audience didn't know. Like the audience doesn't know today how impressive that was, but the audience back then really did not know how impressive that was.
Right. And I also like I feel like some of the jokes went over their heads.
Yeah, like whenever what was he saying? That's the interlude.
Right.
When he was going
hilarious.
because he's like, oh yeah, I forgot that's actually the part that goes in the song.
That was great.
No, but everybody was like, oh, he's just playing.
Right. Some of the bits they got, like you heard the audience laugh a little bit here, and then some of them, like it was like, guys, this is like one of the funniest bits I have seen.
That's the interlude.
It was a total comedy bit set to music.
Yeah.
The man, like you were saying earlier, the man is a comedic genius. He's also a musical genius. Look at the talent.
Yeah.
Everything that he did there. You talked about the most impressive thing he did was playing the on the mic stand.
And then he moved to his foot.
And he moved his what in the world?
Yeah.
Wow. And he could just go in and out of whatever he wanted to
Seamlessly. Yeah.
If he's wanting to be
There's
jokey. If he's wanting to be serious and play it down.
And he chose the timing perfectly when it was like time to be serious.
Right.
And then he chose like, all right, time to break it up a little bit.
Absolutely.
Like it felt unnaturally natural.
Yes. 100%. Absolutely love that. And maybe this will become our new biggest video on the channel, or it's only going to get like 5 views.
We'll see.
We'll see. Anyway, let us know in the comments what you thought about that performance if you're a big Roy Clark fan. Also, let us know if you want to hear Kyle learn to play Roy Clark's arrangement of Malagueña that he performed on The Odd Couple in the 70s.
That might be, I don't know what would be harder, Malagueña or Folsom Prison.
Folsom Prison routine? Oh, that would be funny. Like,
You don't
learn the Roy Clark.
I am not doing that. I'd look like a fool. Only he can look cool doing that.
Right, I know, and he did too.
He did.
So cool.
He looked so cool.
Like you want to be that guy. Like, man, I wish I could do that.
You know what's funny is like people. Well, I'm gonna say this. A lot of people might not know who Ray Liotta is in my generation.
You're right.
But I was gonna be
he
like,
passed away a couple of years ago.
Really?
Surely did.
Well, shows how much I know about Ray Liotta. Well, I was sitting there thinking, I was like, you know what? That kind of looks like Ray Liotta.
I can totally see that. I can see that.
Especially like old Ray Liotta in the movie Blow.
Right? Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Anyway,
I can totally get that.
They should make a bit where it's like SNL should do a bit where it's Ray Liotta playing Roy Clark.
Roy Clark.
That'd be everything would go.
It was just it's meta. It's too meta.
Yeah.
Too meta. But anyway, that was excellent. All right, I think that's going to wrap up the show. Is there anything else you want to cover?
If you want to do the thing, do the thing. And that's in reference to if you think you can do a thing, but you're scared to do the thing, you need to just do the thing.
Mic drop.
Yeah, it's real cryptic. That's real cryptic for all you smart folks out there.
If you know, you know.
Ick. Yeah.
All right, folks, that is it All right, folks, we wrapped up the interview, shut down the studio, had a nice dinner, and realized that we never talked about Kyle's current awards nominations. The Mile High Rangers are up for Rock Group of the Year at the 2025 Josie Music Awards, and their song Spring Fever, which you can find everywhere, is up for Rock Song of the Year. Go check it out. It's fantastic. Congratulations to Kyle and the rest of the guys. And now, back to the end of the interview. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Let us know in the comments what you thought about it. What you thought about How to Train Your Dragon. We talked about some of the thoughts we've shared on the entertainment industry, on choosing your career, on doing what's right for your life, on the Roy Clark reaction, whatever you liked or didn't like about this. Actually, whatever you liked about this video, because if you didn't like something, we don't want to hear it. No, just kidding.
Yeah, go away.
No, actually, any comments boost the algorithm, so even if
Say your thing and then go away.
Yeah, that's that too. No, don't do that. What in the world? What in the... Kyle's tearing up my studio. Hey, this place is so nice too. Right? It's so pristine.
I've broken a chair twice. I don't know how that's possible.
Exactly. And that's gonna wrap us up. Like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff, and we will. Oh, and go follow this guy on all the social media platforms. Kyle Graves Media on brand new YouTube channel. He just recently launched his Instagram page. Also, his band Mile High Rangers also just launched a YouTube page, and y'all are on Facebook,
we're on
Instagram, all that stuff. And you've also got an artist page on Instagram. Kyle Graves artist page on Instagram, Facebook, all that. Go subscribe to all that. And we will see you next time.
Man, thanks for having me.
You're not welcome.
I know.
Never come back. I'm never having you back on the show. This was a unmitigated disaster, and I hate your guts.
Yeah, well, the feeling's mutual about me.
About
myself.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
I got things I got to work through.
Yeah, I get it. Let me loot your hair.
Doesn't look very good with these on, so.
Actually, I think it looks pretty cool. It kind of tames it. A little
See,
bit. See, I like that.
he doesn't get it.
No, I guess not.
He doesn't get it.
Yeah. Some of us can grow the hair, others can grow the beard.
Yeah, you can see who's got what.
That was weird. Okay. I should turn the cameras off. I should already turn the cameras. That's it.
Bye, everybody.
We're done. That was, I thought it was great.
Yeah, I did too.
I was great.
Can't handle words like that. Theme, Words Like That by Cole Powell. Lead in by Ryan Purser. From Wicked Woman by Four Way Star. Original cover photo by Kelly Bagwell. Recorded at Randomine Records. Section 107 of U.S. copyright law allows for the fair use of copyrighted material for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, parody, or research.